Good morning. So today I have Lance with us, who has his own growth marketing agency in the Bay Area, which is known as which has some of the most top tech companies. Lance currently helped a lot of small tech companies grow, specifically using SEO, marketing strategies, and a lot of those things. But also, what a lot of people don't know about Lance is that he has a lot of courses on Udemy, Coursera, where he talks about his experience when it comes to resume building, LinkedIn optimization, which is something that's so important because a lot of people these days are looking for jobs and are switching their careers. So let's welcome Lance on 10 Minutes of Hiring Wisdom, who will tell us about his agency, and then he will tell us about what he has learned during his search for jobs and how we can implement that during our job searching process. Hi, Lance. How are you doing today?
Hi, Manal. Great. Thank you so much. Boy, that's a lot. I hope I can live up to the expectations here.
I'm sure you can. So, Lance, can you tell us about your agency, what exactly it does?
Yeah, so my company is Delta Agency. It's a growth marketing agency focusing primarily on early stage tech startups. So basically, previously I was head of growth for a SaaS fintech startup in the Bay Area. And this really taught me what you could do internally as well as it made sense to leverage external partners. So I took that knowledge and expertise, started Delta Agency, and have really been having fun for the last few years, helping early stage tech companies with full funnel growth, everything from acquisition. Really, the three pillars of growth I define as acquisition, funnel, and conversion.
Of course. And what got you into growth marketing in the first place? Like, did you always know that you wanted to pursue this path, or was it something that you saw a lot of people going into and you were like, okay, this is somewhere I can see myself growing and making a lot of money?
Yeah, well, I love the immediacy of digital marketing where you can do everything on your own and you can test things very quickly. So I knew that that was my passion. And originally I'm from Colorado. I knew eventually I'd make it out to Silicon Valley because I love tech. So eventually made it out here and just really shaped my career towards that. So wanted to build a background for an early stage tech company. So that means getting exposed to lots of different verticals, company sizes, company types, which has been both a good thing and a little bit of an Achilles heel when I am looking for a job, which I'll talk about here a little bit.
Of course. So, Lance, I'd love to hear, because you have experience when it comes to growth marketing, specifically with the pandemic and everything. There's been this immediate sense of globalization, the world being much more interconnected than it was ever before. How do you think growth marketing has specifically changed when it comes to globalization?
Yeah, absolutely. Great question. A few different things. One, growth marketing is not just for SaaS tools, it's essentially for every business. And I think with the pandemic, me being a digital marketer, a content marketer, it's really important for, traditional businesses, let's say offline, like restaurants, to also have a digital element that doesn't require them to be present. So, for example, chefs can have, teaching courses, teaching people how to cook. You can have products, so an e-com store. So if people are, sheltering at home, then they can also still run their business. I had a client who was a promoter at a top club in Los Angeles, and with the shutdown, he was no longer able to operate. So he decided to help his wife spin up their vintage-inspired jewelry business, which is an e-com Shopify store. So was able to help them go from monthly revenue of 25,000 up to 100,000. And so
Oh, wow.
I think non-traditional businesses as well as digital businesses need to be more forward-thinking and think about growth and also diversify and create multiple streams of revenue and income. Like I said, teaching courses, anyone can teach a course. You're an expert on something. You just have to figure out what that is. Anyone can run an e-com store. Anyone can create, prepackaged products, etc. So there is a way to be creative to get ready for, knock on wood, hopefully we don't have to deal with the next pandemic or whatever else may come.
It's funny how we think that the pandemic's over and then we hear that, oh, there's a new variant going on, and you're just like,
Right?
oh, okay, I thought this was over. So you're just like, okay, it's all over again. But hopefully things start getting better and things start getting better that we don't have to deal with this anymore.
For sure.
But thank you for sharing that, especially the vintage jewelry example, from going from a 25K business to a $100,000 business. That's big. And I think a lot of people wouldn't expect that when it comes to specifically jewelry. So that sounds absolutely amazing. Just curious, are you the only person in this agency, or do a lot of other people work with you in this agency?
Yeah, so I do make use of contractors, and in fact, we'll be scaling it up. So looking for great people who want to do the sales. So reach out to me, Lance at deltaagency.com, and then also growth managers. If you love that growth marketing but don't want to do the sales. Let's say you've been running your own agency and you have clients, would love to work with you as well. So there's a lot of opportunity there. And the great thing is I had a differentiator before where everyone could work remote, and then this pandemic happened and every company allows people to work remote. So my value prop sort of went away a little bit, but to control your own hours and to work while you're traveling is something that I support as well as a global traveler myself. So
Of
definitely lots of
course.
flexibility.
The transition must have been really smooth for you though, because you were already remote, so things wouldn't have been that bad for you, which is always great. But Lance, I'd love to hear regarding your experience when it comes to creating courses on resumes or LinkedIn, like how to optimize your LinkedIn. What are some of the best techniques that people could deploy when it comes to creating their own resume or optimizing their LinkedIn according to you?
Absolutely. The first is just a change in mindset. You really have to see LinkedIn as a search engine, and you really have to understand that you want to rank, just like SEO. So you need to look at those job descriptions, integrate those keywords into your LinkedIn profile. Additionally, they want that content to be fresh, relevant, and they want you to be active in the platform. So next, make sure you're in LinkedIn every day, clicking around consuming content, posting content, and really understanding what you're going for and what people are searching for is super important. So a specific example was, I previously worked as head of growth, and that keyword would get like a trickle of job inquiries, not very much. And I switched it over to something more traditional, I'd done, product marketing manager. And suddenly I was getting tons of inquiries because that's what recruiters are actually searching for. So a keyword can really make the world of difference. So make sure you're doing plenty of research.
Okay, and how do you find those perfect keywords is the question then?
Yeah, so obviously the job description, and then you want to also use synonyms as well. And so you want to really, I don't want to use the word keyword stuff, but you have to really use just about everything in the kitchen sink as far as what they're putting in those job descriptions. Look at trade publications, groups. Was able to drive a really big bump by using a hot keyword. They were in my space. They were looking for growth hackers. That was kind of a buzzword a few years ago, and integrating that new term really, really increased my profile views.
Okay, thank you so much for sharing that. Definitely for a lot of people who are looking for updating the resumes or even their LinkedIn, make sure to change your mindset and consider it as a search engine optimization would be definitely useful. And Lance, the last question would be, so you mentioned that you're thinking of scaling up your business. Are you open to global hiring, or are you looking for people to hire within the US?
Yeah, I think that's a great question, a good challenge. I've had clients, in New Zealand, and so I think that's really opened me up to hiring globally. It's just a matter of where those clients can be. So it's really open. I don't think there's any limitations with the internet. I leverage contractors across the US or the world, I should say, India, Pakistan, everywhere. So I think having clients, around the globe is absolutely definitely okay.
Of course. Well, thank you so much for sharing that, Lance. I know a lot of people, specifically when it comes to sales or growth marketing, who are looking for jobs, so I will definitely forward them to you. But other than that, it was an absolute pleasure having you as a guest, learning from you about your experiences, and most importantly, how you have designed courses to specifically help people. Other than that, one other thing, Lance has his own course design, which is free. I will definitely link that in our YouTube video. So if you want to check that out, you're more than welcome to. Thank you so much,
Yeah,
Lance.
thank you. And the link for that, which you'll share, is bit.ly resume-challenge. Now it's a free 5-video mini course, super short, absolutely free, and it's going to get you really 80% of the work done to get your LinkedIn profile to surface for recruiters. So thank you, Manal. I appreciate the time. Thank you for everything.
Of course. Thank you so much. Have a good rest of your day, Lance.
Bye-bye.